Joy Behar is one of the main draws of a show like The View. She is a controversial figure who isn't afraid to speak her mind, and that's something that people both love and hate about her. Based on what Joy had to say recently, she raged over a recent change. So, what happened, and what did she have to say about it? The View. Joy Behar is a huge draw on popular talk show. Whether you love her or hate her, the fact remains that Joy Behar is a big draw for The View. Even people who don't like her will still tune in for what she has to say. She is a no-nonsense type of person who pulls no punches, especially when she feels strongly about something. Joy Behar is never afraid to say what's on her mind, whether it's to her co-hosts or another famous guest. The View fans will never know for sure when she might cross a line or fly off the handle, and this is a big reason why a lot of people continue to tune in for the show. Major change to the schedule switches things up. When it comes to everything to do with The View, there is a lot more going on than just the flagship show. In addition to the main show, there is also the Weekend View. This offers something different and gives people who like to watch the show on weekdays something else to watch. If that were not enough, there is also the companion podcast for the show, The View, Behind the Table. This podcast is hosted by the show's executive producer, Brian Tedda, and often, ladies like Joy and the other panel members make appearances. However, there was a major change recently that switched things up. It turns out, Joy usually appears on the podcast weekly, on Wednesdays. However, Tedda recently changed her day to Tuesday, and the popular cast member was not happy about this recent switch. The View. Joy Behar livid over recent scheduled change-up. As longtime The View fans know, Joy Behar is extremely vocal, especially when she encounters something that she doesn't like. In this instance, with the recent schedule change, she had plenty to say about that, too. Opening up about what upset her, Joy said, "This is Tuesday. I am going to come back on Wednesday. My people, the Joy boys, they know I'm a Wednesday person." As upset by this schedule change as Joy Behar may be, The View fans love the back and forth between her and Brian Tedda. One commenter recently said, "You are popular and I love watching you and Brian every week." Another person said, "Brian and Joy need to take their show on the road." A third person chimed in, adding, "You two are hilarious. You should take this act on the road. Love the podcast, Brian." Joy Behar rages over schedule shake-up on The View. Behind the Table podcast, delighting fans. Joy Behar, the outspoken veteran co-host of The View, has long been a lightning rod for viewers, loved by some, loathed by others, but undeniably a cornerstone of the show's appeal. Known for her sharp tongue and unfiltered takes, Behar's larger-than-life presence keeps audiences hooked, whether they're cheering her on or tuning in just to see what she'll say next. On March 29, 2025, that unpredictability was on full display when she unleashed her frustration over a seemingly minor tweak to her routine, proving once again why she's a major draw for the ABC daytime staple. So, what sparked her latest outburst, and how did fans react? On The View, where she's been a fixture since its debut in 1997, save for a brief hiatus from 2013 to 2015, thrives on her no-nonsense demeanor. Whether she's sparring with co-hosts like Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, or Sarah Haynes, or taking on high-profile guests, Behar doesn't hold back. Her willingness to cross a line or fly off the handle, as fans often describe it, is a big part of what keeps the show buzzing. It's this fiery spirit that makes her a polarizing yet indispensable figure, drawing viewers who crave her candid commentary on everything from politics to pop culture. Beyond the flagship program, The View empire extends to the Weekend View, a separate offering for fans who can't get enough of the weekday debates, and The View, Behind the Table, a companion podcast hosted by executive producer Brian Tedda. The podcast, launched in 2021, gives listeners an inside look at the show's dynamics, often featuring Behar and her fellow panelists in a more relaxed, conversational setting. For Behar, it's become a weekly ritual, specifically on Wednesdays, a day her loyal followers, affectionately dubbed the Joy Boys, have come to expect her appearances. But a recent scheduling shake-up threw a wrench into that routine, and Behar was not about to let it slide quietly. The change was simple but, to Behar, seismic. Tedda shifted her regular behind-the-table slot from Wednesday to Tuesday. For most, it might seem like a trivial adjustment, but for the 81-year-old comedian, it was a betrayal of her rhythm, and she let Tedda know it. During the podcast, Behar vented, "This is Tuesday. I am going to come back on Wednesday. My people, the Joy Boys, they know I'm a Wednesday person." Her tone was equal parts indignation and exasperation, a classic Behar blend that underscored her resistance to being uprooted from her established groove. The Joy Boys, a playful nod to her dedicated fanbase, clearly hold a special place in her heart, and she wasn't shy about invoking them to make her case. Tedda, accustomed to Behar's fiery outbursts after years of working together, took it in stride, but the exchange didn't go unnoticed. Fans of The View and its podcast lit up social media with reactions, reveling in the chemistry between Behar and Tedda. One commenter gushed, "You are popular and I love watching you and Brian every week." Another suggested, Brian and Joy need to take their show on the road, envisioning the duo as a comedy act beyond the podcast's confines. A third fan doubled down, writing, "You two are hilarious. You should take this act on the road. Love the podcast, Brian." The back and forth, marked by Behar's signature bluntness and Tedda's dry wit, has become a highlight for listeners, turning a scheduling spat into a showcase of their dynamic. Behar's reaction fits her long history of vocal discontent on and off The View. From clashing with former co-hosts like Meghan McCain to weighing in on hot-button issues with zero hesitation, she's built a reputation as someone who thrives on speaking her mind. The podcast kerfuffle is just the latest example, but it's also a reminder of her enduring appeal at a time when The View continues to evolve. Season, the show remains a daytime juggernaut, averaging over 2.5 million viewers daily, thanks in part to Behar's ability to stir the pot. Her Wednesday podcast slot had become a comforting constant for fans amidst the chaos of live TV, making the switch to Tuesday a disruption worth raging about, at least in Behar's book. The broader context of Behar's career adds weight to her protest. A stand-up comic before joining The View, she's spent decades honing her craft, from clubs to cable to daytime TV. Her longevity, coupled with her willingness to tackle aging, politics, and personal anecdotes with equal gusto, has cemented her as a cultural touchstone. The podcast, while a smaller stage, lets her flex that muscle in a new way, and her insistence on Wednesday reflects a desire to maintain control over her narrative. Tedda, as executive producer, has guided The View through turbulent years, including cast shakeups and pandemic pivots, but managing Behar's wrath over a date change might be one of his trickier challenges yet. So, what do you think? Was Behar's rant a justified stand for her fans and routine, or an overreaction to a minor tweak? Her Joy Boys seem to love the drama either way, and the podcast's popularity suggests she and Tedda have a winning formula, Tuesday or Wednesday. As The View marches on, one thing's certain: Behar's not dialing down the volume anytime soon. Share your thoughts in the comments below.